The Elimination Chamber is one of WWE's greatest creations, a unique concept combining the elimination aspect of Survivor Series with the violence and confinement of Hell in a Cell, while also including every WWE fan's favorite thing, counting. They really love to count along. It'll be 20 years since the first Elimination Chamber match hit the airwaves at Survivor Series 2002, and since then there have been dozens of men and women who have stepped inside only to come out covered in boo-boos. The big boo-boos have become less frequent in recent years, but the actual match itself has seen a bit of a resurgence in quality. The cage may look like a toy, but the chamber matches in 2017, 2019, and 2020 have all been bangers, helping to re-establish the Elimination Chamber as appointment viewing. However, they cannot all be this good. The chamber has been a representation of the good, bad, average, and abominable of WWE over the years, and today we look at every single man and woman responsible for these matches. So lock yourself in a pod, kick your feet up, and try not to knock out a pane of totally indestructible bulletproof glass. This is going to be a long one. I'm Tempest, hailing from partsFUNknown, and this is every Elimination Chamber participant ever ranked. Do you want to get ranked yourself? Well, subscribe to partsFUNknown and I'll rank you number 1. Click. Click. There, you've done it. You're number 1. Congratulations. 169, Bob Holly, December to Dismember. Nothing like replacing Sabu on an ECW atrocity of a pay-per-view with Bob Sparky Plug Holly. He couldn't even be eliminated right. 168, Big Daddy V, No Way Out 2008. If you want to see what King Mabel looked like at the end of his WWE career, well, here it is. Was Kane not available for this match or something? 167, R-Truth, Elimination Chamber 2015. R-Truth has a bad track record in these matches, and this was the worst performance of arguably the worst chamber match. 166, Big Show, December to Dismember 2006. ECW Champion The Big Show. Says it all right there, doesn't it? 165, Mark Henry, Elimination Chamber 2015. It's kind of shocking that 20-year vet Mark Henry looked like such a deer in the headlights when his pod opened, and this match subsequently fell apart. 164, The Great Khali, No Way Out 2008. Oh man. 163, The Great Khali, Elimination Chamber 2012. Oh man, they did it again! 162, Vladimir Kozlov, No Way Out 2009. Hey, this was the first time Vladimir Kozlov got pinned in WWE. Took them long enough. 161, Test, December to Dismember. There really isn't much keeping Test out of the bottom spot, but he killed RVD with a flying chair shot and it looked kinda neat. 160, Wade Barrett, Elimination Chamber 2015. He got eliminated first, but in this match he may have been thankful. 159, Dolph Ziggler, Elimination Chamber 2015. Dolph appears to try and quarterback the second half of this match, giving directions to everyone and trying to salvage this debacle. Well, you can call him Mike Glennon because this was some bad quarterbacking, and I guarantee that is the only time you will ever hear Mike Glennon's name on this channel. 158, Mike Knox, No Way Out 2009. I don't know if there's ever been a less threatening monster than Mike Knox. This was the end of his 2009 3-week push, and really, you can't blame them. 157, Bobby Lashley, December to Dismember. Bobby Lashley sure has come a long way from winning this wretched match. He has spots with Test and Big Show in front of the most hostile, mostly empty building you've ever seen. 156, R-Truth, Elimination Chamber 2010. Hey Ollie, what's up?
What's up?
155, R-Truth, Elimination Chamber 2012. What's up?
What's up?
154, Elimination Chamber 2011. What's up?
Seriously, what's up, man?
153 to 150, Sarah Logan, Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott, and Natalya, Elimination Chamber 2020. These 4 get grouped together because they all share the same purpose, to have their souls eaten by Shayna Baszler while getting in minimal offense. Logan dives off the pod. She also just about kills Natalya though. 149, Los Matadors, Elimination Chamber 2015. They entered 4th and were eliminated first. They had a bull on top of their pod like a good luck totem though. 148, Big Show, Elimination Chamber 2012. As mid-card fodder, Big Show is acceptable. As the workhorse tasked with carrying the beginning of this match with a plodding, heatless exchange with Wade Barrett, the hardest of hard passes. 147, Sheamus, Elimination Chamber 2015. Sheamus sits higher than most of his 2015 cohorts because while his pod not opening only caused more problems for this match, it meant that he got to avoid participating in this match for a little bit. 146, Ryback, Elimination Chamber 2015. While Ryback did not get to skip out on this train wreck, he did win the thing to win his only title in WWE. Imagine showing this match to someone as your crowning achievement. 145, Elias, Elimination Chamber 2018. I think you all might get tired of the phrase mid-card fodder by the end of this list. 144, Chris Masters, New Year's Revolution 2006. Chris Masters seems like a nice enough guy, but man was he ever miscast as this main event heel in early 2006. He eliminated Kane! 143, JBL, No Way Out 2008. I don't think the fact that this match really gets going once JBL is eliminated is an endorsement of his work. 142, Nia Jax and Tamina, Elimination Chamber 2019. You might think Nia Jax and Tamina in a big hard box would be a recipe for disaster, but honestly, it was fine. Still wasn't good, but it certainly wasn't a train wreck. 141, Kevin Nash, SummerSlam 2003. Kevin Nash's WWE run in 2003 is such a fever dream. Commentary does a good job of putting over that Nash is a street fighter rather than a grappler, and honestly, in a match like this, I think that's fine. 140, Naomi and Carmella, Elimination Chamber 2019. The team that was thrown together because they had one more pod to fill. The work was fine, but going out first does hurt their standing. This is also about where the Mendoza line of the Elimination Chamber exists, where everything prior to this was pretty bad, and now we're heading into average or uneventful territory, folks. 139, Mandy Rose, Elimination Chamber 2018. There is significance to competing in the first ever Women's Elimination Chamber match, but this match was not designed to feature Mandy Rose, who was eliminated first. 138, The Ascension, Elimination Chamber 2015. Man, the beginning of this chamber match was an NXT reunion. Yeah, The Ascension versus the Lucha Dragons. NXT sure has changed and changed again. 137, Sonya Deville, Elimination Chamber 2018. Similar to her partner Mandy, this match wasn't meant to showcase Sonya Deville, but she had the benefit of being one of the opening two, getting to share some quality one-on-one time with Bayley. 136, Cody Rhodes, Elimination Chamber 2012. Cody Rhodes' lone Elimination Chamber appearance was a bit of a dull affair. He eliminated the Big Show, which is solid, but nothing in this chamber match had any heat besides Santino. 135, Big Show, Elimination Chamber 2011. The chamber match for the Big Gold Belt in 2011 was exceptional, one of the best in history. However, the middle section of this match is a bit of a slog, and big ol' babyface Big Show had a lot to do with it. 134, King Corbin, Elimination Chamber 2021. You know how Kevin Nash kinda sticks out standing amidst Chris Jericho, Shawn Michaels, Randy Orton, and Triple H? King Corbin kinda sticks out the same way when competing against Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Jey Uso. 133, Rob Van Dam, December to Dismember. This match is an absolute train wreck, but Rob Van Dam is one of only two people in the match the fans even remotely care about. 132, Baron Corbin, Elimination Chamber 2017. This is another tremendous chamber match, but Corbin wasn't in it long and really only set up his WrestleMania match with Dean Ambrose. A match that took place on the pre-show. 131, Big Show, No Way Out 2009. The chamber matches at No Way Out 2009 kinda parallel each other, in which this one has the combo of Vladimir Kozlov and Big Show, while Raw's had Mike Knox and Kane. Take your pick which you prefer, but it is easy to identify the weak parts of both of these matches. Speaking of, 130, Kane, No Way Out 2009. The other side of the large lumbering veteran coin was Kane. He got a pretty cool elimination, being hit with Rey Mysterio's seated senton off the top of the pod. Similar to Big Show being hit with a parade of finishers, a good elimination goes a long way with regards to this list. 129, Wade Barrett, Elimination Chamber 2012. Wade Barrett earns points for being eliminated by Santino Marella. That is all. 128, Primetime Players, Elimination Chamber 2015. Remember that summer that the Primetime Players got a big push because Titus O'Neil won a Celebrity Dad of the Year award? Runners-up in a weak chamber match. 127, Dolph Ziggler, Elimination Chamber 2012. This was the weird period of time where Dolph Ziggler still had potential, would go on to win Money in the Bank that year, but was still treated like absolute mid-card fodder until then. 126, Carlito, New Year's Revolution 2006. Carlito eliminated 3 out of 5 competitors in this match and was runner-up after turning on Chris Masters and being pinned by John Cena. If it wasn't such a weak chamber, this would have been very impressive. 125, Mickie James, Elimination Chamber 2018. Mickie James added some veteran presence to the first ever women's chamber match and managed to eliminate Sonya Deville before being the third woman eliminated. 124, CM Punk, December to Dismember 2006. CM Punk gets points for being the most over person in the match and the person who should have won if Vince McMahon had the slightest shred of a clue. 123, Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler, Elimination Chamber 2020. The Dirty Dogs didn't play a big role in the conclusion of this match and were only really there to further the Dolph Ziggler-Otis storyline. 122, John Cena, Elimination Chamber 2018. John Cena really didn't have a great showing in 2018, and this Elimination Chamber is a prime example of this. John Cena being mid-card fodder just feels wrong, but he was only there to be fed to Braun Strowman. 121. Sheamus, Elimination Chamber 2014. Smiling, happy Sheamus in 2014 is about as boring as can be, but he got eliminated by a huge frog splash from Christian, so that's neat. 120. The Miz, Elimination Chamber 2017. Another example of an average performance in an excellent match. The Miz had not yet reignited his WrestleMania feud with John Cena, so he didn't have much to do in this match besides get eliminated. 119. Drew McIntyre, Elimination Chamber 2011. Skinny Drew is so weird to look at after this transformation. 118. Wade Barrett, Elimination Chamber 2011. Wade Barrett was challenging for the WWE Championship in the main event of Survivor Series as the leader of the Nexus just 3 months before this. He feels so unimportant as mid-card fodder from the core. 117. Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan, Elimination Chamber 2019. A fairly average performance, but suitable fodder to be fed to Nia Jax and Tamina. At least the Riot Squad were an actual team. 116. Kane, Elimination Chamber 2011. Kane was coming off his lone reign as World Heavyweight Champion and thus treated like a bigger deal than he was in most other years. Managed to eliminate Big Show and Drew McIntyre, so that's gotta count for something. 115. Kurt Angle, New Year's Revolution 2006. It's pretty crazy to consider that this chamber match, which featured Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels, and Kane, saw them three eliminated first in favor of featuring Carlito and Chris Masters. Angle was the first one eliminated. Yeesh. 114. Asuka, Elimination Chamber 2020. Asuka ranks higher than the rest of the 2020 women simply because she put up a bit more of a fight against Shayna Baszler, and she was the runner-up. Still not saying much for this match. 113. The Miz, Elimination Chamber 2018. Hey, the starting three in this match make up the triple threat match at WrestleMania 34. How about that? First one out, fodder. 112. Sheamus, Elimination Chamber 2011. There are a few memorable moments from the Raw Chamber match in 2011. The only one to involve Sheamus, however, was his elimination as John Morrison scaled the chamber and hit a crossbody or something to take Sheamus out. 111. The Lucha Dragons, Elimination Chamber 2015. Aw, poor Kalisto. He got stuck. 110. Booker T, Survivor Series 2002. Booker T didn't do much in the first Elimination Chamber match besides eliminating Rob Van Dam with a missile dropkick. Also, when has anyone ever been beaten with a missile dropkick in this century? Also worth noting, we've now reached the acceptable to decent chunk of this list. 109. The Miz, Elimination Chamber 2012. To his credit, The Miz was the runner-up in this match, losing to CM Punk, but this match had an especially weak field of participants. 108. Kane, New Year's Revolution 2006. It took both Carlito and Chris Masters to beat him, but Kane sure got the last laugh. Not in this match, but by beating them at WrestleMania 22 with Big Show by his side. What a match to put on a marquee. 107. Randy Orton, Elimination Chamber 2021. Orton started this match with Jeff Hardy, so that ignites 2008 nostalgia fire within me. Orton always works well, but he was eliminated first at just 8 minutes into the match. 106. Kane, Survivor Series 2002. For someone in the midst of a pretty decent push, Kane barely did anything in the first chamber match. His pod opened before it was meant to, so perhaps if nothing went awry, Kane could have made a bigger impact with the spots that they had planned. 105. Randy Orton, SummerSlam 2003. Randy Orton was still a baby at SummerSlam 2003, only 23 years old, in the Elimination Chamber, being fed to Goldberg. Hard to consider Randy Orton to be mid-card fodder, but here he is. 104. Jeff Hardy, Elimination Chamber 2021. Jeff Hardy had a pretty respectable Elimination Chamber performance, starting with Randy Orton and lasting 25 minutes squaring off against Raw's best. 103. The Iconics, Elimination Chamber 2019. There was a strong case to be made for the Iconics to win this match, but alas, they had to settle for merely being entertaining. They eliminated Naomi and Carmella with a good pin though. 102. Randy Orton, Elimination Chamber 2010. Some may not remember, but there was real talk of Randy Orton being WWE's next big babyface in early 2010. Then, they drew out his babyface turn long enough that people stopped caring, and then we got Orton hanging out with Meatloaf on Raw. Anyway, he was eliminated by 101. Ted DiBiase, Elimination Chamber 2010. The Legacy breakup angle ran through this chamber match with Ted DiBiase hitting Orton with a pipe and pinning him. This didn't factor into the finish at all, but it gave them both something to do, being eliminated first and second. 100. Kofi Kingston, Elimination Chamber 2021. Kofi was talking up Randy's quads from inside his pod, and I laughed. 99. Kane, Elimination Chamber 2013. Kane didn't come close to the finish, but the Chamber allowed for another way for Team Hell No to try and hug each other mid-match. 98, John Cena, No Way Out 2009. This was a weird one to place because damn, it sure was memorable and significant. John Cena, established face of the company, eliminated in 90 seconds, thus losing the World Heavyweight Championship. To this day, this still feels like a simulation. 97, MVP, No Way Out 2008. Back when MVP was a rising star on SmackDown, he tried to climb to escape The Undertaker. That was a mistake. 96, Kofi Kingston, Elimination Chamber 2012. Kofi got to start the match with former tag partner CM Punk, and they had some fun spots before Kofi was eliminated by Chris Jericho at the 27-minute mark. This was a weak chamber, but a strong starting pair is always a plus. 95, Heavy Machinery, Elimination Chamber 2020. Heavy Machinery were actually one of the most over teams in this match, with Otis trying to seek revenge on Dolph Ziggler for that whole stealing yo girl thing. Also, Otis is the Kool-Aid Man, look at him go. 94, Sheamus, Elimination Chamber 2021. Sheamus had a pretty respectable showing in the 2021 Chamber match, lasting until the final three, and having plenty of interaction with rival/friend Drew McIntyre. This was a pretty good match, and everyone involved worked hard. 93. Finlay, No Way Out 2008. I love Finlay. I don't want to see Finlay get hurt. Oh look, there he is being chokeslammed on a f***ing grate. Tragic. 92. Lucha House Party, Elimination Chamber 2020. The Lucha House Party was pretty clearly meant to be fodder for the top teams in this match, but this was one of the few times Lince Dorado and Gran Metalik got to show off just how good they are, with fun spots like this Hurricane Rana on John Morrison. 91, Randy Orton, Elimination Chamber 2019. Honestly, Randy Orton getting pinned by Kofi Kingston in this match bumps this spot up significantly. 90, Kofi Kingston, Elimination Chamber 2010. Kofi Kingston's 2010 prospective main event push was pretty much dead by the time February hit. He does have a cool bit as he enters the cage where he looks back to make sure he isn't attacked, playing off Edge taking him out the year earlier. Attention to detail. It's nice. 89, Jeff Hardy, Elimination Chamber 2019. Jeff Hardy may not have played an integral role in the 2019 Chamber match, being eliminated second, but this match was maybe the best of his kind, and being in a great match gives you more points than being in a bad match. 88, Bayley, Elimination Chamber 2018. Remember when Sasha Banks and Bayley broke up on every show for like a year? This was one of those shows. Despite good work from Bayley starting the match with Sonya Deville, the most memorable part will always be when Sasha Banks turned on her for the 11 billionth time. 87. Daniel Bryan, Elimination Chamber 2013. This chamber match was pretty forgettable, but Daniel Bryan managed to have a couple standout moments, trying to hug Kane and starting the match with Chris Jericho. Certainly a more fun example of mid-card fodder this time. 86. Dean Ambrose, Elimination Chamber 2017. Dean Ambrose had been personally escorted out of the main event scene from which he'd been in 2016, and by Elimination Chamber, he was starting a feud with Baron Corbin over the Intercontinental Championship. Solid work and a tremendous match, but man, when WWE pulls the plug on you, they pull it fast and hard. That came out wrong. Or did it? 85, Rob Van Dam, Survivor Series 2002. Does Rob Van Dam place higher for doing a crazy frog splash off the top of a pod, or does he place lower for crushing Triple H's throat with said frog splash? 84, Randy Orton, Elimination Chamber 2011. Babyface Randy Orton again, folks. This is when he was feuding with CM Punk, and thus Punk got help from the stupid laptop overlord and eliminated Randy Orton early. I mean, it helped set up the WrestleMania match, and the work was good, so can't complain too much. 83, Christian, Elimination Chamber 2014. Christian's lone Elimination Chamber appearance came in a pretty forgettable one, but thankfully Christian made his own mark, hitting a huge frog splash from the top of a pod to eliminate Sheamus. 82, John Morrison, Elimination Chamber 2011. Speaking of stunts, here's John Morrison scaling the cage and then sort of letting go. I don't know, parkour. 81, Cesaro and Kidd, Elimination Chamber 2015. Cesaro and Tyson Kidd may have been the best tag team in WWE at the time, which makes it all the more confusing that they did not last to the final two of this match. The spin into the dropkick gets me every time. 80, New Day, Elimination Chamber 2015. There's no way these guys would just be allowed to wrestle this match with an extra man, right? Right? Oh well, at least they won. 79, Umaga, No Way Out 2008. Umaga wreaked havoc on his chambermates before Chris Jericho, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and Jeff Hardy all hit their finishers on him to take him out. Yep, that'll do it. 78, Jack Swagger, Elimination Chamber 2013. I'm still waiting to hear the rationale behind giving Jack Swagger a second main event push and having him win this chamber match. On one hand, he won, so he places higher. But on the other hand, he absolutely should not have won, so he places lower. 77, Triple H, SummerSlam 2003. I mean, same thing as the last one, really. Triple H barely did anything in this match due to a groin injury, and then he beat Goldberg, only to lose to him a month later. This finish was as baffling as those bike shorts. 76, Shawn Michaels, New Year's Revolution 2006. Shawn Michaels got to start this match with John Cena as a little preview of their WrestleMania main event a year later. He got eliminated by Carlito, which is a bit embarrassing, but 23 minutes of Shawn Michaels is better than most other people. 75 and 74, Finn Balor and Seth Rollins, Elimination Chamber 2018. I might as well do these two together because I'd really just be saying the same thing twice. Two excellent workers carrying the early stages of this match before becoming mid-card fodder for Braun Strowman, who didn't even win, mind you. 73, Shawn Michaels, SummerSlam 2003. Again, good chamber matches have a strong starting pair. In this case, Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho. Two 2003 rivals and two all-time greats who made the beginning of this match great before being fed to Goldberg. 72, Randy Orton, Elimination Chamber 2013. The second half of the 2013 Chamber was pretty good, and after eliminating Mark Henry and Chris Jericho, he was rolled up and pinned by the all-Republican Republican. 71, Chris Jericho, SummerSlam 2003. Chris Jericho's 2003 outing would be next to Shawn Michaels, but Jericho has history with Goldberg, which makes his elimination mean just a shred more. 70, Samoa Joe, Elimination Chamber 2019. Samoa Joe may have been eliminated first from the excellent 2019 Chamber match, but thankfully we got to see him start the match with Daniel Bryan, enough to make an ROH fan weep. 69, nice, Cesaro, Elimination Chamber 2014. This was before Cesaro was pushed and then killed, so this was essentially his first foray into the WWE main event spotlight. He didn't get any eliminations, but he started the match with future tag partner Sheamus and had a lovely half hour before being submitted by John Cena. 68, Sami Zayn, Elimination Chamber 2021. Seeing Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens tear it up in an Elimination Chamber match is quite surreal, and knowing this all led to an actual WrestleMania match between them makes it pretty darn cool. 67, Kevin Owens, Elimination Chamber 2021. Repeat last entry, but Kevin Owens eliminated Sami Zayn, so he goes higher. 66, Chris Jericho, Elimination Chamber 2012. Chris Jericho was only one of two plausible winners of this chamber match alongside CM Punk, so with Punk winning, at least Jericho was able to stand out by being booted out of the cage, never to return. Technically, he's still waiting to be eliminated. 65, Randy Orton, New Year's Revolution 2005. Randy Orton played a key role in this match as he ended up squaring off with former Evolution running mates Triple H and Batista in the final three. The problem is 24-year-old Randy Orton didn't get over as a babyface, and thus some of his shine spots come across very flat. 64, Sheamus, Elimination Chamber 2010. Nothing like entering the Elimination Chamber as WWE Champion, not even making it to the final two, and getting a concussion to boot. 63, Edge, New Year's Revolution 2005. Edge had yet to step into his main event role when he competed at New Year's Revolution, and his one big moment of the match was getting super kicked by guest referee Shawn Michaels. First one out, but a good performance. 62 and 61, Chris Benoit and Chris Jericho, New Year's Revolution 2005. Another very good starting point, as old rivals and partners Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit were fodder for the whole Evolution aspect of this match, but this is about as good a fodder as you can get. 60, New Day, Elimination Chamber 2020. The Tag Chamber match from 2020 may have been a bit sloppy, but the best team shined in this match, and anytime the New Day and the Usos can wrestle in a new structure is a win in my book. 59, Chris Jericho, No Way Out 2008. It's deja vu all over again as Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels started the Raw Elimination Chamber in 2008. Their work was great and served as a preview of the amazing rivalry they would have later in the year. 58, Jeff Hardy, No Way Out 2009. Jeff Hardy started this match with Edge, and before another pod could open, Hardy had pinned the WWE Champion. This was his shot at regaining the title after losing it the month prior, but it was not to be as he was eliminated by The Undertaker. 57, Shawn Michaels, No Way Out 2008. Shawn Michaels bleeds everywhere in this match. He also gets to start with Chris Jericho and gets eliminated by frenemy Triple H, nothing a few stitches and a few green glow sticks won't fix. 56, Chris Jericho, Elimination Chamber 2013. Jericho lasts almost to the end of this match, but he gets to start things off with Daniel Bryan, a throwback to the first episode of Game Show NXT. Look at these rookies. They were indeed wild and young. 55, Cesaro, Elimination Chamber 2021. There is certainly a trend here. If you are one of the two that starts in a match and you kill it, you're going to do well on this list. In this case, you had Cesaro and Daniel Bryan. Well, hot dog, I don't think you can get much better than that. 54, Triple H, Elimination Chamber 2010. This was another fairly dull chamber, but Triple H did have one of his patented chamber performances, eliminating WWE Champion Sheamus en route to submitting to John Cena as the final elimination. 53, Jey Uso, Elimination Chamber 2021. Jey Uso just being in a chamber match to earn a title at Roman Reigns is already intriguing to start with. Then you factor in he was the runner-up and eliminated Kevin Owens and Cesaro. Yeah, a pretty solid showing for Jey Brother. 52, The Usos, Elimination Chamber 2020. Again with strong starts, this time with tag teams. The match started with the Usos and the New Day, while the Usos were able to make it all the way to the final two teams. They were beaten by The Miz and Morrison, but not before eliminating the Dirty Dogs for good measure. 51, Rey Mysterio, Elimination Chamber 2010. Rey Mysterio was the lucky duck who got to interrupt CM Punk's chamber sermon, eliminating him after a Frankensteiner on the Great. Mysterio was eliminated third, so he didn't make it close to the end, but mixing it up with Punk, John Morrison, and Chris Jericho means you'll do well. 50, The Miz and John Morrison, Elimination Chamber 2020. Not only did they win and retain the SmackDown tag titles, but The Miz and John Morrison pinned both the New Day and the Usos to do it. Throw in the fact that this was a great match and The Miz and Morrison are sitting pretty at number 50. 49, Fire and Desire, Elimination Chamber 2019. One of two tag teams to start the match and last all the way to the end, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville were at least an established tag team before this match, and being runners-up for a new championship is pretty significant. 48, Roman Reigns, Elimination Chamber 2018. I mean, I wonder who the people would be into more. The guy who eliminates one man and wins, or the monster who eliminates 5 participants single-handedly? I can't understand why Roman didn't get over. 47, Randy Orton, Elimination Chamber 2014. Crack the top 50 if you win a mediocre chamber, it seems. 46, John Morrison, Elimination Chamber 2010. 2009 and 2010 saw a number of breakout performances from John Morrison, and this was one of them. Lasting until the final 3, Morrison was a standout of the match, eliminating Rey Mysterio in the process. Would have been a good candidate to win Money in the Bank that year instead of whatever nonsense he and R-Truth did at WrestleMania. 45, Sasha Banks, Elimination Chamber 2018. Pretty much all the memorable moments from the first Women's Elimination Chamber match involve Sasha Banks. Whether it be countering a huge Twisted Bliss into the bank statement or betraying Bayley again, the real match starts when Sasha Banks' pod opens, a great runner-up to a solid first chamber match. 44, Chris Jericho, Survivor Series 2002. Chris Jericho is really one of the ring generals of the first Elimination Chamber match, starting with Rob Van Dam and controlling the pace of much of the match while in a loose alliance with Triple H. He also gets super kicked while locking in the walls of Jericho, which must have been pretty cool for an HBK fan like him. 43, John Cena, Elimination Chamber 2014. Boy, if we knew the destination of this John Cena-Bray Wyatt rivalry at the time, we'd have been crying for Bray to return to his swamp. Cena eliminated Cesaro before the spooky voodoo posse decided that was enough hustle, loyalty, and respect for one evening. 42, John Cena, Elimination Chamber 2010. Another winner of a mediocre chamber match. This match is best remembered for what happens afterwards, as Vince McMahon declared that John Cena must defend his newly won WWE Championship against a fresh Batista who came down and ate Cena whole in one bite. 41, Triple H, No Way Out 2008. This was a pretty solid chamber match with multiple potential winners, but it was Triple H who eliminated Shawn Michaels before having a fun showdown with Jeff Hardy. The game countered a twist of fate and hit a pedigree on a chair for the win, which leads me to 40, Jeff Hardy, No Way Out 2008. Jeff Hardy was ridiculously over at the time of this chamber match, as he was just coming off a main event clinching rivalry with Randy Orton. You know, the one where Jeff kept jumping off things. Although I guess that is most Jeff Hardy rivalries. Anyway, I only remember this match because of how close Hardy gets to a WrestleMania title shot, rather than Triple H for actually winning it. 39, Batista, New Year's Revolution 2005. Sure, Batista was a bit clunky in the ring, especially back in 2005, but he played a crucial role in this match, helping Triple H reclaim the World Heavyweight title while building to their impending WrestleMania main event. 38, Batista, No Way Out 2008. There aren't many fantastic long Batista performances, but the ones that do exist often involve The Undertaker. Batista and The Undertaker started the SmackDown Chamber match at No Way Out 2008 and lasted until the final 2, where they did a bloody brilliant finish. Huzzah! 37, Mark Henry, Elimination Chamber 2013. Mark Henry may not have won the Elimination Chamber match in 2013, he may not even been the runner-up, but when his pod opened, he injected life into this match with a dominant performance, eliminating Daniel Bryan and Kane solo. 36, CM Punk, Elimination Chamber 2011. The 2011 Raw Chamber match was fairly forgettable despite being a pretty good match, and CM Punk was the thread that tied the whole match together. The stupid laptop lets Punk return to his pod before he eliminates WrestleMania opponent Randy Orton, and goes on to be the runner-up, falling to John Cena. Also, he looks like he gets stabbed in the ass by Wolverine. 35. Edge. The SmackDown Chamber match, No Way Out 2009. This was the hardest entry to place on this list. Yes, Edge only wrestles for 3 minutes, but his excellent performance as all the other participants laugh at him is priceless. This doesn't place anywhere near this high if not for the second half of Edge's night, but we'll get to that. 34. CM Punk Elimination Chamber 2010. You know that Royal Rumble sermon everyone loves to talk about? Yeah, he did it again in the Elimination Chamber after eliminating R-Truth in minutes. 33. Chris Jericho, No Way Out 2009. We have another strong start over here. It's funny how these chamber face-offs can end up being previews of rivalries to come, like this one with Chris Jericho and Rey Mysterio. Jericho's performance is great, lasting until the final 3 after he helps eliminate Cena. 32. AJ Styles, Elimination Chamber 2019. It's common knowledge that AJ Styles is phenomenal, right? I mean, more really need not be said. 31. AJ Styles, Elimination Chamber 2021. Well, fine then. AJ Styles shows up when it comes to Elimination Chamber season. He's competed in the match 3 times, and the only unnamed AJ Styles entry is still to come. Whether it's been mixing it up with Samoa Joe and Jeff Hardy like it's TNA in 2019, or outlasting 4 others before falling to Drew McIntyre in 2021, AJ Styles is indeed phenomenal. 30. Daniel Bryan, Elimination Chamber 2014. It's hard to articulate how much people loved Daniel Bryan in 2014. Loudest pops, longest sustained reaction, and the only thing holding back this performance is that we had seen the Authority screw Bryan out of the title several times leading up to this. Otherwise, a wonderful, resilient effort before he finally got his WrestleMania moment. 29. Chris Jericho, Elimination Chamber 2010. Boy, is there a lot of wackiness happening at the end of and as a result of this match. Jericho is helped by his old rival Shawn Michaels, who superkicks The Undertaker and allows Jericho to win his final WWE World title to date in a good match to boot. 28. Daniel Bryan, Elimination Chamber 2012. With the exception of the finish, this is a poor Elimination Chamber match. Having Bryan, by far the best worker in the match, without a close second in sight, enter last made this match a real slog, but once he's in, he gets to be the one to stomp out dreams as he submits Santino Marella to retain the world title. I mean, if you only watch from when Bryan enters, it's a pretty good match. Funny that. 27. John Cena, New Year's Revolution 2006. You know, it's pretty wild that John Cena lasts this entire Elimination Chamber match, entering first and dealing with Carlito and Chris Masters teaming up on him, covered in blood, triumphant, and no one remembers this. This match really only gets talked about in regards to Edge's Money in the Bank cash-in, which is interesting given Cena's valiant effort. 26. Alexa Bliss, Elimination Chamber 2018. The winner of the first ever Women's Elimination Chamber match. Alexa Bliss secured her place in history with that one. She may have entered last, but Bliss more than pulls her weight, eliminating both Bayley and Sasha Banks while also performing crazy-ass spots as well. For a first winner, you can't ask for much more. 25. John Cena, Elimination Chamber 2011. 1 week after being called out by the returning Rock the Rock Roxon, Cena toughed out a pretty good chamber match by eliminating CM Punk to earn a shot at WrestleMania. Unfortunately, that shot would be against The Miz, and I'm gonna stop talking before I think about the WrestleMania match and oh darn too late. 24. CM Punk, Elimination Chamber 2012. Again, the WWE title chamber match isn't the best. I mean, who among Kofi Kingston, The Miz, Dolph Ziggler, or R-Truth is going to believably win the title ahead of WrestleMania? That being said, Punk enters first as WWE Champion, and he walks out as champion. He had some fun moments with Kofi and some interactions with WrestleMania opponent Chris Jericho, so while the match is mid, Punk did alright. 23. Drew McIntyre, Elimination Chamber 2021. Another match that will likely only be remembered because of a Money in the Bank cash-in. The difference is this match is actually rad. Dominant champion Drew McIntyre taking down AJ Styles, Sheamus, Randy Orton, Kofi Kingston, and Jeff Hardy. This match is a pretty damn good time, and it's one of McIntyre's best title defenses as well, even if he lost it 2 minutes later. 22. Shayna Baszler, Elimination Chamber 2020. Now this is another difficult one, because on paper, Shayna Baszler should be number 1 with a bullet, eliminates every other participant, and does it decisively to win the match in record time. That being said, this match kinda sucks. The pacing is killed by all the waiting around, and while the idea of a dominant monster running through the chamber is a good idea, in execution it just isn't very engaging. 21. John Cena, Elimination Chamber 2017. To date, this was the last time John Cena was WWE Champion. wild. The 2017 Chamber is one of the best, and John Cena carries much of the match on his shoulders. He starts with AJ Styles, there's a strong start again, and makes it all the way to the final 3 before being eliminated by eventual winner Bray Wyatt. Speaking of, 20. Bray Wyatt, Elimination Chamber 2017. Boy, Bray Wyatt had bad luck with title reigns. They all get hocus-pocused out and made into a joke, which is a shame because, as seen in this match, Bray Wyatt can be a world champion wrestler. Pinning both John Cena and AJ Styles to win your first WWE Championship in a fantastic match is pretty poetic, so let's all just pretend the story ended there with a great match. 19. Goldberg, SummerSlam 2003. Love him or hate him, there is a reason why Goldberg got over, and if you watch his performance at SummerSlam 2003, you'll find it hard not to cheer for him yourself. Like, look at this crazy man spearing people in half. It just gets your adrenaline flowing. It goes without saying he should have won this match, but that can be said about many Triple H opponents. 18. Braun Strowman, Elimination Chamber 2018. Okay, do the last one, but with more people this time. 2018 was the one year WWE decided to get weird and put 7 men in the Elimination Chamber instead of 6, so Braun Strowman got a buy 4 get 1 free for eliminations, taking out the entire field in impressive fashion before running headfirst into Vince McMahon's stubborn WrestleMania plans. 17. Santino Marella, Elimination Chamber 2012. What is there to say about the finish of the 2012 World Title Elimination Chamber match? Career goofball comedy character Santino Marella finds his way into an Elimination Chamber match, somehow manages to eliminate Cody Rhodes and Wade Barrett, and comes a second away from pinning Daniel Bryan to win the title. You can say it's comedy and it's ridiculous all you want, the only part of this match the crowd was into was Santino's run at glory. If they were going to do it, at least it was done well. 16. Triple H, Survivor Series 2002. Not only does Triple H put on a tremendous performance in the first ever Elimination Chamber match, but he does it after having his throat crushed by Rob Van Dam early in the match. It's a different business today, but Triple H has to be on the Mount Rushmore of finishing matches after getting injured. 15. Triple H, New Year's Revolution 2005. Triple H did not have his throat crushed at New Year's Revolution, but rather he won the vacant World Heavyweight Championship in a very good match. But most importantly, he did it while giving Randy Orton a big ol' wedgie. Aw man, look at that bum. 14. The Undertaker, No Way Out 2008. The Undertaker had never competed in an Elimination Chamber match before No Way Out 2008. It was more of a Raw thing anyway. For his first outing, Undertaker fills this match with memorable moments, tossing MVP off a pod, chokeslamming Finlay on a grate, and this masterfully executed finish. Oh, smooth as butter. Entered first and won a world title shot for the main event of WrestleMania. Doesn't get much better than that. I mean, it would be better without the Great Khali and Big Daddy V involved, but I digress. 13. The Undertaker, No Way Out 2009. 1 year later, The Undertaker stepped inside the Elimination Chamber again, but this time the match was actually excellent. The Undertaker made it to the final 2 and has a great little battle with Triple H, again a preview of their Mania matches to come. Undertaker came up short in the match, but his performance was a thing of beauty. 12. AJ Styles, Elimination Chamber 2017. Hey, there's that AJ Styles we were waiting for. AJ Styles has yet to win an Elimination Chamber match, but he always delivers when the cage door slams shut. In this case, Styles starts the match with Cena and goes the distance, being beaten by Bray Wyatt for the finish. He may not have won, but it was clear who the MVP of the Chamber was that night. 11. The Boston Hug Connection, Elimination Chamber 2019. Despite what WWE has done with the women's tag titles since, it's hard not to get sucked into what they're doing in this match just by how much emotion is on display from the women involved, but especially from Sasha and Bayley. The match itself is maybe a bit clunky, about what you would expect from a match involving Nia Jax, Tamina, and Billie Kay, but the celebration afterwards from Sasha and Bayley is heartwarming. Real emotion, folks. Nothing like it. Number 10. The Undertaker, Elimination Chamber 2010. Alright, we're into the top 10 now, folks, with The Undertaker's fiery performance from 2010. Get it? Because fire? Yeah, okay. This match and Undertaker's performance in it are very significant, with HBK setting up his WrestleMania rematch with Taker, Jericho and Taker getting some very rare ring time, and keep in mind, all of this happening after they set Undertaker on fire! Number 9. Triple H, No Way Out 2009. Triple H has weathered many Elimination Chamber matches, and while this might not be his most memorable performance, it may be his best. The match was pretty awesome once Kozlov is dismissed, and then it's Triple H, Undertaker, and Jeff Hardy trading near falls. There would have been few who could rival the popularity of these three at the time, and an excellent final showdown with The Undertaker capped off a fantastic opener for No Way Out. Number 8, Rey Mysterio, Elimination Chamber 2011. Rey Mysterio's name doesn't come up when discussing the best Chamber competitors, probably because he's never won one, but that's unfair because Mysterio is batting 1,000 with his Chamber performances. In 2011, he and Edge start. there it is again, and then make it all the way to the end, having an excellent mini match of their own. Put Rey Mysterio in a position to shine and he'll blind you. Number 7, Daniel Bryan Elimination Chamber 2021. Babyface Daniel Bryan on the road to WrestleMania, going the distance to win the Elimination Chamber match, starting with Cesaro and last eliminating Roman Reigns' cousin Jey Uso before Reigns makes Bryan wrestle their match immediately after the Chamber. If there were fans in the building, this might have been the best. Number 6, Rey Mysterio, No Way Out 2009. Rey Mysterio's runner-up performance in 2009 is something truly special. From a storytelling perspective, he sees his friend Kofi get attacked, and he wants to make sure Edge gets his in return. But Edge is in a pod while Rey has to start the match against Chris Jericho, another awesome combo, before it comes down to Edge and Rey in a brilliant battle with a fantastic finish. There is truly no better underdog than Rey Mysterio. Number 5, Edge, Elimination Chamber 2011. There wasn't much of a story going into the SmackDown Chamber in 2011, so what do great workers do in that situation? They tell you a story in the ring. Edge and Rey Mysterio have been linked since Rey's arrival in 2002, and they've done some of their best work together in these chamber matches. Edge and Rey start, Edge and Rey finish. This match is superb, and the chemistry between these two carries it. Number 4, Daniel Bryan, Elimination Chamber 2019. I thought long and hard about who would edge out the other between Kofi and Bryan, and in the end, well, Kofi hasn't popped up yet, so you can infer from there. The fact is, the 2019 Chamber match is excellent due to everyone involved, but the emotional weight of the match lies on Bryan and Kofi. Bryan may have had a better match bell to bell, I mean, he won, so yeah, obviously, but Kofi gets the edge for making us all feel something at WrestleMania season, so, speaking of, number 3, Kofi Kingston, Elimination Chamber 2019. In hindsight, it's probably best that Kofi Kingston got his big moment at WrestleMania, but man, let me tell you, watching this show live, everyone I knew wanted Kofi to win. Maybe, just maybe, WWE will pull the trigger on the hot babyface. It didn't happen, but the emotion and the drama were there. This was another chamber match that you could argue is the best, and it's because of Kofi. Number 2, Edge, the Raw Elimination Chamber match, No Way Out 2009. Really, Edge's 2 performances at No Way Out 2009 should be judged together. After losing the WWE Championship in just 3 minutes, Edge took it upon himself to attack Kofi Kingston and take his place in the World Heavyweight Championship Chamber match. From there, Edge put on an awesome showing with Rey Mysterio and Chris Jericho, with Edge pinning the former to win the title he was never supposed to be fighting for. Big Gold looks better on him than the spinner did anyway. And number 1, Shawn Michaels, Survivor Series 2002. The winner of the first ever Elimination Chamber match, in only his second match since retirement, capturing the last world championship of his career in poop brown pants. Joking aside, we won't dock marks for the brown pants because this is an incredibly special match and moment for Shawn Michaels, but seriously, what made you choose brown? Did you think you were going to shit yourself in that cage? Regardless, HBK set the standard extraordinarily high for Elimination Chamber performances, and we're still waiting for someone to top it. And that's our extremely long list. If you like this video, make sure to give it a like and share it around with your friends, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. If you like this format and want to see more rankings just like this, leave us a comment below and let us know what you'd like to see ranked in a similar format. Until then, I've been Tempest hailing from partsFUNknown, reminding you all to jam that jam.